Hey everybody. Hey, we're jumping back in with some more Izara Brooks. If you guys tuned into the first episode, this is a new mod called Roleplayers Alternate Start mod. And right now we just got through basically the first part of it. In the first episode, it took us about almost 3 hours. To just get rescued. And so we got rescued. So basically, the way it started, we're going to use the current load order, and it shouldn't have. Maybe it would. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. And so first episode recap for everybody. What happened is we chose the shipwrecked start, right? So we don't have a ship. We got shipwrecked on a random location. Turns out we were on Kasumi. And we basically had to collect some iron and some aluminum, if I'm not mistaken. And then, as a matter of fact, while we're looking here, so basically, you can see here, we choose our own start, right? And then, granted, we didn't change our appearance, because the very first thing it has you do is create your appearance. Why do we need to change it? We didn't need to change it. But then you had to select, or at least choose these options while you're, and it puts you in this area that's like the Unity, right? So you move around to different stations. You can choose whether you have a home or not, choose your own ship, choose your starting gear, change your level. We decided to start as a level 5, just so we'd have some abilities. And then, select the narrative adjustments. The narrative adjustments is really what you're going to select. Kind of similar, and it doesn't have all the same things, but kind of similar in alternate start from, say, Skyrim, when you can choose. And one of the things we could choose was we were shipwrecked off the coast, right? Except we were just shipwrecked. And what that does is it puts you down in a spot, no ship, right? And basically you have to scavenge for a few things. And then once you did that, you had to go get a communication comm relay, so you can build a beacon, right? So you basically can set down an outpost and then build a beacon, right? We had some major difficulties with that, because one of the things we didn't understand or didn't know at the beginning was when you put down your outpost and you were going to set down your beacon, you had to make sure you were doing it on a flat piece of land so that the ship that was coming to rescue you could land, right? And I guess within the radius, I don't even know what the radius is, but within a certain radius of the beacon, it had to be flat enough for the ship. Granted, I felt there was flat enough land in the radius of the beacon, and then we moved it around quite a bit, couldn't get it, so then we had to put down a second outpost, because you can't undo an outpost. You can move it, but you can only move it, I think, within the parameters or in the basic thing of the original place where you put the outpost, right? So we ended up having to put down a second outpost somewhere else with flatter land. And then still, what's very annoying is the ship still didn't land where we. So the flat land that we found, right? And we put the beacon, we were like, okay, it's probably it should land right here, right? No, it didn't land anywhere near that. And still, it's like, well, really? So that was an annoying piece. But to get to that point, you still had to. They dropped us down in this, and there were some homesteaders that were right there. So the very first thing we had to do was protect. So you gotta do here, right? So the emergency pickup, even though it's after homestead, hunted homesteaders, this was the very first thing that popped for us once we landed. And then, talk to the group leader and then defend the homesteaders. Oh my God. Right? So I think the creatures that we were defending them from were like these. I can't even think of the name of what they're called. But so we defended them, but then showed up these birds. Okay, these bird creatures, and they were the worst. They were the absolute worst, right? And then so we had to fight them off, but we didn't want to fight them off too quickly, and here's why. Because out of the blue, terramorphs showed up. So we weren't protecting the homesteaders from the terramorphs nor the bird creatures. There were another creature that was already there that had invaded that we were supposed to protect them from. Unfortunately, the group leader died, and I think only one homesteader actually did survive. If she did, I'm not 100% sure. But once we got through the original wave of those major creatures, with the help of the birds and the terramorphs, we got the credit for helping the homesteaders. But again, like I said, they didn't survive the birds or the terramorph afterwards, right? So we wouldn't have survived the terramorphs if it wasn't for the birds also. And we might not have survived the birds if it wasn't for the terramorphs either. And yeah, it was just crazy. So eventually we got all the birds done and all the terramorphs down at some point, right? You fight whoever's losing. You take out whoever's losing for a minute, as long as they're beating down or whittling down the other faction, right? And then we had to make our trek. So basically, if you imagine the landing zone, you're on one side of it, basically the comm relay that we were supposed to have, and the beacon, right, the little point for it, was basically clear on the other side of the landing zone. So we had to make our way all the way across. Now, and then I'll wrap this up real quick here. So with our girl, right, we have what you'll call a lot of mods, right? We've got Dark Star, right, which actually has become one of my favorite mods. But I'm going to tell you right now, that makes everything infinitely more difficult. It makes everything just way harsher. Everything's bullet sponges as a result. So you're not one-shotting anything in this game, pretty much. And I mean, and then you start, and the recommendation is when you start out, the very first, you start out on easy, very easy, right? Depending on the level of your character. And as your character levels, and as you get more and more better, you get better gear, you raise the difficulty level, so right now I raised it from very easy to easy. And generally, I'm going to say roughly once you get about in level 20 to 30, that's when you're on normal. 30 to 40-ish. You can even push it out to 45, 50. That's when you're on hard. Then you go to very hard and then extreme, right? I have a level 170, 180 character that's on extreme, and that's it. But then I have a character that's like level 90 and I think is on extreme. So you basically get to extreme at some point, probably before you hit triple digits in your level, but you can see how the difference is. The issue that you run into is I have this coupled with several other mods. Bedlam is another mod that I use, which increases spawn rates and reinforcements and things like that. So the number of enemies that are going to be at a particular point of interest, whether it's going to have the reinforcements come in while you're there, whether there's going to be other factions actually there invading, right? So you might get to one spot and there's Ecliptic there, but they're being raided by spacers. Well, guess what? Everybody drops their differences when you show up, and then they work together to take you out. So, and then reinforcements will show up. right? And then so not only have you doubled the number of enemies that you would have had there, you don't, and then now you also have an extra faction of enemies that are there that have been doubled as well. Then you got a chance of reinforcements, and then they could have pets. Yes, I've gotten to a lot of places with the weirdest, most dangerous kinds of pets altogether, right? And then there's also the slight chance that they're starborn there as well. So you couple that, and then we have tiny reasons to explore. We have tiny reasons to explore space, tiny reason to explore too. That drops stuff just all throughout the zone to find and explore. And then half of those potentially have enemies attached to them as well. So you can imagine now we got Bedlam, we got Darkstar, we got tiny reasons to explore, we got all these things littered across our landing zone, and then we're trying to run from one end to the other. And then we get to the place that has our comm relay, and there's Ecliptic there, and Spacers in fact did invade. Right? So, and then they did have pets as well. So we had all those, and if I'm not mistaken, we ran into 2 Starborn along the way. So yeah, it was, let's just say that first episode. Okay, so this is how bad it got, because we decided we were going to try to sneak in, but that didn't work. So we decided, okay, and then we get attacked, and then they come out after us, and we take out as many. We're running around, we're over encumbered, we're limited med supplies, we're hurting, we're dying, we're just trying to stay alive and trying to get out of harm's way. And eventually we get clear, and we get everybody that was chasing us, we kill them. So we're like, okay, fine, let's just jump back in. Let's see, that should have thinned them out, especially with the Spacers invading too, right? And we took out a bunch of them as well. We said, okay, what we're gonna do is this. We're just gonna charge. Okay, so we're gonna sneak in at first, and then we couldn't sneak in because we were injured. So, and then, all right, so that how is that? Why does that keep you from going in? Because now you can't crouch. As soon as you crouch, you start taking damage, and you and then all of a sudden you just can't, so you're losing health, you're losing stamina when you're as soon as you take, so you lose stamina and health as you try to just crouch. And as you move, you're bleeding out, you're doing all this. So we couldn't crouch. So it's like, okay, we're gonna just walk slowly. Walk slowly into the place, and then as soon as we get in, boom, 2 guys right there. They spot us, and then we're like, screw it. Screw it. I think we had 5 med, stim, whatever you call them, and we're like, okay, we're just gonna keep hitting health, right, each time, and we're just gonna go to where the relay is. We're gonna grab it, and we're gonna just run. And we tried to fight our way out. We did. But then it was like, screw it. It's that moment when you just say, F this. We're leaving, okay? I don't care, shoot me in the back if you will. We're leaving. And that's what we did. And somehow we got out. We got away. We're like, oh my gosh, we're basically just limping away, right? We got the comm relay. We get far enough and in the clear to do an outpost. And what do you get? You get this, you need flat land. I'm like, well, then don't let me put the beacon down if the beacon isn't going to work. Because that's what you do. You put it down, and then you call them. And then it comes back and it says, some unfortunate thing, impossible. Because you need a flat piece of land for the ship to land. Well, then don't let me put the beacon down if the ship can't land there. Right? Only let me put the beacon down where the ship is going to be able to land. Yeah, so that was basically a half hour of frustration. I was swearing and cussing up a storm. and just completely annoyed. I was like, F you, you suck, all kinds of stuff, because I just didn't think that was right. I just thought that could have been. So, if anything, in that mod, so far in this mod, if I'm changing anything, that is the one thing I'm changing. I am absolutely changing that so that it will only allow you to put it down in an area, right? And then I would also basically change it so that it will identify the proper area for you. Meaning, I want to put, I get to a place and I want to put down, and then it tells me, no, putting a thing down here isn't going to help you, right? Isn't going to, there's no viable land. Give me something that'll allow me to scan or look for the appropriate place where I can put down emergencies, And then here's the other thing. All right, who's coming for me, right? Make it so that it's a small enough ship, right? A Mako. Make it a Mako. I don't care who comes to get me, but make it a small enough ship that they can land anywhere. Search and rescue isn't this big, huge, what's the name thing, right? Make it so if you're just sending me a shuttle, god dang it, man. I just need to get rescued. So, yeah, I was very, but I gotta be honest with you, right? 3 hours basically flew by for me. It was just awesome, right? And it really kind of was that, like, everything you wanted. As bad as things got, it was everything you wanted in a start, how you're starting, right? You're like, if I survive this, I am doing something. You know what I'm saying? Because we also didn't put ourselves down there we had, I think, an Eon. We didn't even have a melee weapon. So literally, we were fighting one creature. I was hitting him in the head. I had no bullets left. I had this Eon, and so I'm just pistol whipping this thing until it just finally went down and died. You know what I mean? And then I had to put the Eon away and said, okay, we're gonna fisticuff this thing, right? We're gonna fight with our bare hands if we have to. And then somewhere down the line, though, I think I somehow stumbled across or found a weapon. I don't know why they want me to talk to Doc Manning again. I already talked to him one time already, and he told me about his issue, but I can't help him. I got no ship. He already told me. So one of the things we got here is the job application. So we're gonna do this. But yeah, so it was just which proficiency? Medium. All right. What level of education have you completed? Where's X-Spacer? We haven't completed anything. Criminal? Yes. Submit application. All right. So that is our girl, though. She's X-Spacer, right? So, I mean, right then and there, our backstory for this one is basically she's an X-Spacer. She stole one of the ships from her, from her group, right? And crash landed on that planet, Kasumi. And here we are. We had to get out and get out of there. So if you want to know her traits, she has strong back. She's from Neon. And obviously, she's wanted. There it is. And so there's our girl. Not gonna do all that stuff because we know all that stuff. So are we going to jump into that right off the bat? We have a lot of gear on us. I'm trying to think where Trade Authority is probably the best place to sell some of this stuff. And if we're lucky, yeah, that guy's not here. He's such an a-hole. So I'm going to show you this right here. Store hours. And that's not all that it said, but store hours, Neon Trade Authority. All right, that's what it said. All right, greetings. Exceptionally valued and highly important customer. Due to recent changes within our organizational structure, The Neon Trade Authority will only be staffed with human workers from 10 a.m. to midnight, planetary local time. After hours, orders can be placed with our mini-bot, and shipments from special clients are still permitted to be dropped off in our secure drop boxes. Neither the Trade Authority nor any of its officers, directors, employees, or attorneys shall assume or ever have any liability or responsibility for any indirect, economic, special, or consequential loss or damage of any nature, including, without limitation, any loss of business or revenue, loss of profits, loss of opportunity, loss of goodwill, anticipated savings or expenses in connection with or arising out of this notice of reduced business hours. Oh my God. P.S. Personal note from Coleman. Frank, if you read this, keep your dang robot out of my storefront. Last night, he wandered in here for no reason and scared off paying customers. I don't care what the heck his programming is telling him to do, you need to fix it. If this happens again, I'm calling in a favor from Sioku. A very special favor. All right, that's one of the crime syndicates here. So that is cool. All right, so that's a mod, and what it does is it gives these guys breaks. So when you go into the store, some stores will have bots. Some stores there won't be anybody, and there's nothing you can do about it. You just got to come back during business hours, and you actually have to read the slate to find out what the business hours are. They're not the same for every single one. This one is different. Coleman. Did you really think Radley wouldn't rat you out? He let me log into his Trade Authority account and check your store's transaction history. For F's sake, you need to stop selling your cases of Chandra wine to random tourists who drop by your store. I know you're fat, greedy, but can't resist price gouging them and making way more than what I'm paying you, but you have a contract with our mutual friends to honor. Selling to randoms and then claiming you don't have enough stock to fill your contract shipments is not going to fly. Do you have any idea how hard it is to find good liquor where I live? I'm going to be planetside next week. I expect no less than 10 cases of Chandra waiting at our usual dead drop when I arrive. Don't F around and find out. Don't F-A, F-O. You don't want to deal with me when I'm sober. Estelle. Now, we all know, those of us, because this has been out a while, we know who Estelle is, and we know who her friends are. You don't mess around with the fleet. Okay, let's talk to this little guy. Hey, buddy. He's scared, but that's all right. What do you got for sale, buddy? Yeah, I know, buddy. You didn't have to be scared, man. I wasn't going to hurt you. All right, I just want to see what he's got. See, now, one of the things that they have that truly, I think, the best spacesuits that you can add to the game, in my opinion. You got several, right? But, this is what we already have. We have a Nomad spacesuit. Now, but we don't have one of these. But we don't have the money for it either. And one of the things that we discovered at the end is, and what really makes this mod better than another mod that I played is, in this one, like, I had a character that was stranded, no ship, could not ever get a ship. Right? Now, roll your own start. Your ship is in it has a lien against it, so you always had a ship, because the game normally doesn't let you play without a ship. So whatever they finagled to do this, is cool. But with roll your own start, you can do a pedestrian start where your ship has a lien against it and you got to earn enough money to get it out of Hawk. Here, you don't have a ship. You don't have anything. We were stranded. We got nothing. We don't have a ship or anything. So we got to earn enough money just to go out and buy one. Right? Which is basically the coolest thing. So I'm like, all right, I can deal with that. I'm good. Okay. Thing is, the you can get a ship for like 60K, But if you really want a ship that's going to be like halfway decent, just out of the box, right? You need 90K. We got 11. Okay. So yes, I am looking at this, and then look at the suits, man. Now, me personally, I like the Cortex suits too. I like the dark color ones, but I like what they do for the booty. Right? That's the coolest part about them. Right? But it's the Nomad suits for me. I just love the look. Look at the now. See, she already has the Nomad suit, so it's not anything major or needed. The cool thing is, and the one thing that I am looking at here is, you see where this one has got the fastened on it. So I love that. Now, what I would really prefer is a mechanized. So, or if you can double down, a mechanized and fastened one, because if you look at the tiers, right, like this one, technician, fastened, and armor plated, they're in order 1, 2, 3. Mechanized is a third tier legendary that you can put on your suit, your pack, your helmet, right? Any one of the items that you're wearing, on your clothes as well. Fasten is a level 2, and then technician is the level 1. So you can put both on the same item and give yourself, one is 40, the other one's 20, 60 extra carry weight. So to me, and then the way that the naming convention works is this: the highest tier, right? So this one is a repulsing, because that's tier 3. That's how they're named, with the highest tiered legendary that's put on them, right? And then if, like, you see these greenies, there is nothing on them. And then the blue, there's no name, because this is just I believe this is tier 1, sturdy. This tier 1, it might be tier 2. But there's no tier 3, or I think tier 2 might affect the name of it too. I can't honestly, I don't want to say it does, and it doesn't. But you can see armor plated. That tells you what the tier 3 item is. Armor plated. And then these all are repulsing. So, and then I like a balance pack, right? So if I was looking at these, I don't want the always on. Always on means it's always visible. You can't hide them. So what I would want is a pack that doesn't. So this would be the one that I would be eyeing, really, because it's got extra carry weight and it's balanced, right? So, and then you can see the Nomad packs, though. They actually are pretty cool. See, I like this one, this look, right? The streamlined, small, whatever. But this one's always on, so I won't mess with it. And then helmets. The Nomads have, I think, the coolest helmets in the game. That's pretty chill, that one there. But then we can come down, and I don't like, okay, these ecliptic helmets I actually do like, right? The sleek ones, no, I'm just not a big fan of that, but I do like this, right? I can see a little bit of her face, beautiful face. Now the Star Wanderer, that's something new. I don't really mess with them. And then you got you see the Nomad has that. And then this, I want to see her eyes or her mouth or something. I want to see part of her face. I don't need to see all of it. These are cool too. Okay. And then apparel, we just got the Nomad goggles. I don't need either one of those. And then aid. Now, aid is expensive. It is very expensive. Now, the heal paste, and that was a thing that we were badly in need of. And a mobilizer, we had all 3 of these going at all 4 of these going at one time. And it was doubling down on the bleed and we had a torn muscle, and we also had something wrong with our ankle. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? How much stuff is, we were, oh my God. We were, like I said, we were limping around. We were almost at the point where it's like, just go on without me. We just didn't have anybody to keep going, right? So it was like, go on without me, man. Just go on. You Tell them I love them. It was terrible. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna get a couple of these, and we're not gonna play around with it because, in truth, those come in handy. Why do they come in handy? Because we have in the under settings. Okay, you see, we're still on easy. We haven't moved off of it yet because it was not easy. Probably when we hit level 20, we'll move up to normal. But you see here, combat affliction gain. Do not put these on. Do not put these on, especially environmental damage and afflictions and environmental damage restoration. Do not mess with them. Leave them alone. Let them be normal. Because combat affliction gain, right? Just because it's just increase, that means you have a significant chance to gain afflictions from creatures, turrets, robots, and human weapons. Bleed is basically, if you get into a gunfight, you're going to get bleed. If anybody's carrying any kind of thing that can explode or has some sort of bang to it, you're going to get burns. And basically, if you're trying to jump around and everything, you're going to tear a muscle, sprain an ankle, something. And it happens. And then so if you don't have those things on you to heal those, they are a detriment. And any of the blues, now all of a sudden you can't crouch and sneak anymore because you're injured. You are literally injured. You got a torn muscle or some sort of sprain or dislocation or fracture. I think that's what was wrong with our ankle. We had a fractured ankle or fractured something. And so you can't, you know what I mean? You can't do what you want to do. All right, so I done talked we've been talking 30 minutes and we haven't actually done anything, and I haven't sold anything. I you see how distracted I get? This is how much I love this game, man. When you got everything going and working. All right, I want to sell. Okay. Let's see. We can get rid of this axe because I have the cutlass. I don't have any. Nope. I have no rounds for that. This is our original gun. This is what we started with, and that was it, right? All this other stuff we had to collect. And you can see we have 720 rounds for this guy now, but and then this is stuff we pulled off of the bodies of the Ecliptic and spacers that we had to put down. And then we eventually found a cutter. So we didn't have any of this stuff. All I had was the vehicle remote and this guy. And I think that was it. Right? But I have these two. And then usually, if this really had something on there, and we're gonna sell that. So this is our suit, right? Gotta love it, right? And then packs. So now we got a bunch of packs, and then I'm looking at them to see what they have on them. And then right now we have a little bit of help with the weapon holsters, but that's all they do is they make weapons weigh 50% less. Am I a little hesitant to anyone that has like O2 stuff on it? Yeah, I'm a little hesitant. Like right here, I mean, I like the lead line, but we can sell that guy because we're trying to make money. This one, I would rather break down, and then take the legendaries off before I sell it. This is a balanced boost pack. And the reason being is, see, we already have an O2 filter, so I think I could probably let one of these go. And in truth, antiseptic or liquid cooled. Let's go ahead and sell that one. And the main reason is I would want to pull that O2 filter off and put it on this one, because eventually when we do have the ability to go to a planet, we run the risk of going to a planet with no atmosphere. We have the O2 mod installed, right? So we got lucky that we were on a planet that had atmosphere, had oxygen, supposedly, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna assume it did because we didn't have any issues there. And that way we were able to survive. So yeah, this is our girl. The Corsair Commander outfit, I'm just gonna go ahead and sell it. The jacket, this is the jacket she's wearing. I like the crimson vest if I'm going to use anything. The trench coat, not a huge fan of it, so we can sell that off. I like the striker outfit. I might hold on to it and just for someone else later. The miscreant outfit isn't bad either, but this is why it isn't bad. Other than that, and then you have the spacesuit lining, and I did see a mod that was very interesting that changes the spacesuit lining to have attributes that are beneficial, and I just decided not to bring it in. All right, so we got some grenades. So you can see we got bandages, just one. And again, when it's all said and done, we're gonna have a ton of bandages. You know, you gotta have some antibiotics, you gotta have something for your burns, your immobilizers, sure, and then poison, right? So those are the things you want for sure whenever you get any kind of poisoning and stuff like that. It also says hypothermia, lung damage, heat stroke. So there's a lot of things. It treats brain injury, right? And radiation poisoning. And then immobilizer, right? Limbs fractured, dislocated limbs. You get those. Torn muscles. This is just for burns and frostbites, right? And then basically infections. And then bandages are for bleeds, contusions, lacerations, puncture wounds. You're getting shot with a bullet. You got a puncture wound, okay? So, you know what I mean? You know, somebody's coming at you with a knife. You got lacerations, puncture wounds, right? You got creatures scratching and clawing at you. You're going to get contusions too, right? So the cool thing is there's a mod, Smart Dock, right? So you can favorite this, and it is supposed to basically know which item to use. For me, the unfortunate piece, and I don't know if you really want to go through the trouble of making it know for sure which to use. It only will use one item at a time. So if you got 3 or 4 afflictions, you're gonna have to hit it 4 times, right? One for each affliction type. So you have to keep that in mind, right? All right, so we collected, again, toad face meat. Got 10 of those. Let's go ahead and sell that, right? We're going to lighten the load. We got 40 pounds of just raw meat, okay? We got sailgator meat. All right, I'm going to keep a few. 20, this is what? A third of that is, what's that? All right. Trying to do math on the fly. 17 times 3 is 51. So roughly about 16, 17 pounds of that. Or actually, these are kilos, so 17 kilos of that. So that's about almost, 40 pounds? Let's see. So what we're doing is Ankylosaurus meat and tongue. So now we got ourselves over 15 grand, but we still need to make a lot. Ship parts. The sucky part is, yeah, this is 20 kilos of ship parts that we're just forced to carry around unless we just decide, okay, well, we don't need them right now. We'll just get some later, right? And let's clear up our inventory. And then, now that I say that, because they don't do us any good. We don't have a ship. We literally don't even have a ship. And then usually this here, I did use it quite a bit, but I don't like these. And I don't like them because of the 30-second duration. If they lasted like 2 minutes or 3 minutes or 5 minutes, then I'm like, okay, yeah, they could be worthwhile, right? But for that short period of time, no. And then you can see it says sell from ship, no ship available. So yeah, so there it is. All right, so that was the A. Now resources, look at all the stuff. Normally when I collect all this stuff, you use this, And I'm not going to get rid of it because I can probably use quite a bit of this stuff. This is all the stuff we collected on the planet while we were there. Right? I had no resources, if anything. And here's all the DNA that we got off of the animals that we had to, take out. And then miscellaneous stuff. Yeah, we're going to get rid of that skull plate, the hide, the tail, the tongue, and, okay, you know what? I don't even know what those are, but we got 12 of those, right? I think the twin tails were the birds. So, yeah. It said they were boils, but I'm thinking they look like something completely different. All right. And then we can roll over here and we can come in here and you can see we got these two things, but right, I'm just trying to clear out some of these yellows, and then there we go. I love myself, and I forget what it's called. It's been a while, right? So there it is. Okay, and then food, haute cuisine. We had tons of red meat, and then water. Aromatics, we got tons of those. All right, and then here, boom. Sudden developments. That's what they call them. Sudden developments. And what a sudden development is when I click in here and I click this, and you see there's a sudden development where all other, like right now, we got our overflow, right? Went towards zero wire and brilliant, giving us 2 zero wire and 1 brilliant credit, right? So you can see now, I mean, and then I love sudden developments. I actually was watching someone play through who didn't like them, didn't understand them, and I'm like, what are you talking about? The way I look at it is what it's doing is taking whatever byproduct that's being created through this process, right? And it was like, hey, I can use this to make this, or use this to constitute this here, and boom, there you go, sudden development. And it's like, I won't look a gift horse in the mouth, right? If you want to use it and tell me that the byproduct that it created was enough to make, to cover for this, peace. Keep doing what you're doing, man. You know what I mean? Keep doing what you're doing, because now you're telling me that I'm getting more bang for my buck, right? I'm getting more out than I put in that was anticipated, right? I don't think we're at that point, so we just need to clear it all out. Like, okay, there we go. And then the reason we did that also is to do this. Where is it? Over here. I think we cleared out some of our mass too. By using all that stuff, we actually reduced our resources. I can't tell you exactly where our resources were. I think it was like at 50. So it did use some of that up. So I ain't mad at you. I mean, we need to clear up more space. Now, first thing we need to do is figure out. All right. So he's not here. And then just to show you the difference. So store hours, neon, tactical. All right. I'm behind the counter from 7 in the morning to 9 at night. Non-negotiable. Any business after hours has to go through Styx. To Coleman, if you're reading this, for your information, the only reason Styx was anywhere near your store in the first place was to chase away some of those disciple scumbags. It's not my problem that you lost out on a paltry transaction from a couple of tourists who had never seen a combat Model A before. Go ahead, call in your favor from Sioko and see what happens. Unlike you and most of those syndicate goons, I actually fought in the Colony War and know how to hold a strategic choke point against a superior force. Frank. Oh, to Frank from Ken Bright. What's going on here, Ken? All right, Frank, let me know if you're free to get drinks sometimes. We should talk about pooling our savings and getting out of Neon. I didn't go through heck fighting for the collective during the Colony War just to watch the higher-ups of the FC turn around and allow their own citizens to get trapped in the poverty cycle. I'm looking at buying a stake in a ranch on Montera Luna, and with a couple more years of saving, it should be within our price range. It would be good to move back close to home, and we could create jobs for people and make a difference. U.S. veterans have to stick together. Ken Bright. I don't know if I know Ken Bright. I don't know that we've run into him at all. So you got Neon Security. So really what we're going to be looking to do here, since we don't have a ship, we can't go anywhere. All right, so there is another mod that I have not removed. I don't think. I can't. I must have. I'm trying to remember where it is. If I'm not mistaken, I thought it was over here. No. I'm gonna run down to the other end real quick. That's the cool part.
I got them. What do you call them?
Okay. So, we're not going to... Okay, good. Me is for killing. Locate the... Oh, it is here. Alright. So, we're not going to do it, but you see there's a body. You can't see it, but there's a body right there. I personally don't like the start of this mod, and I think it needs to be redone. This is the Quantum Stealth some operations mod. There's the body right there. And so what happens is if you get over here and there's a bomb will go off, right? Some sort of booby trap will go off and explode. And then you're going to get attacked. Okay? And what's going to happen is it's going to start a firefight. The firefight's going to start, and you see all these people here? This one, that one, potentially this one, and that one. Anybody walking around or hanging out in this area, that one, they're all going to be casualties. They're going to get caught in the crossfire. And if you fire back and accidentally hit one of them, it's going to turn them and security against you. If you don't fire back, it's going to be security fighting against whoever's trying to kill you for a minute. But it's not going to be pretty. Not for you. So to me, it's like the worst start of a mod that you could possibly have. How would I change this? Provide something that prompts me to go investigate or go pick up something from a dead drop, and then put all this outside, or put it on the underside of Neon, right? Put it under there somewhere where I go, and when I get there, there's no casualties, there's no bystanders, and there's no security around. So when you ambush me, it's me against whoever you send to ambush me, and I have to fight my way out of it, right? That makes it a little bit easier, because right now though, because the question is, I understand, you want to put it where I'm going to stumble across it, but what possible reason do I have to go over there? Why am I going to that elevator? So there's nothing telling me to go there. So it's basically me running around like this, looking in every nook and cranny that I'm going to discover it anyway. So might as well figure out a way. Hey, Saburo. He's a potential quest person too. He's not in his shop. He's probably looking to see how much money he don't have. This is interesting. It says take, you know, and it's worth some money, so I got no problem. That ain't worth taking. Okay.
Security's got its eyes on Saburo.
So again, you know, make it so that I have a reason to go looking for something. Do you see this? I don't know what's going on. They're after some bad person, some baddie. Alright, well, security is shooting at somebody.
Submit your application with the nearest kiosk.
Who are you shooting at? Who are you shooting at? Oh. See what I'm talking about? If I had shot that one guy in the leg.
Welcome, off-worlder, to the Hotel Volai, your home away from home here on Neon. Our beds are
Aw.
and affordable, and with the crime rating
You got
holding
that skin color
60%,
thing going.
your safety is almost guaranteed.
Is that Saburo? What are you doing over here, Saburo? Alright, put that away. Act like we didn't have anything to do with this. Okay, now, I do want to check out the mission board. And then reason being is there's, as you can see, a ton of missions here now. And, you know, I can accept this. I can't do it, but I can accept it. Kill a pirate. I can destroy the Clemson fleet carriers at Fermi. I could accept it. I can't do it. Destroy, you know, we can accept all of these. All right. So, I mean, but we got a long way before we can actually go. I mean, look at all these. Look at this one. Kill the Varun Zealot on Volai Beta. I have to think about that one because aren't we on beta? Aren't we already here? And look at this one. Kazal. I'm definitely taking that one because I always I always plan. I'm gonna say I like, but I always plan to go to Kazal and just check it out. If you guys know what Kazal is, that means you were paying attention to the conversation between Lynn and Barrett. See, this one I'm concerned about because that's it. Delivery time, 5 days, 0 hours. So it's a time limit on this one, right? And you need to have 4,000 kilos of parcels. So you have to have that much space so you can deliver it. So you can actually take the mission. Medical delivery, recovery, the clinic, right? So, you know, go get some, so there's no time limit on that. And you can see there's infestations, there's, you know, the repairs, fabricate components, right? This one is another supply one, and it doesn't have a time limit on it because now with this one, what you have to do is you have to create a cargo link to supply iridium to Volai. So I'm not really worried about it. Which Volai planet are we on? And if we need, we don't have a bounty. We're wanted, but we're not wanted by the police. Oh, Ken Bright.
Welcome, off-worlder, to the Hotel Volai.
Stay safe out there.
What do you do, bro? You're the first time this is the first time I've ever seen you. So there's a woman that owns this place. And
So go out, have your fun,
oh god.
live your best life. We'll be here when you're ready. The Hotel Volai. Sleep with us.
We're gonna go and we're just gonna Now we have what's called, oh yeah, that mod was updated. So there's a mod that says Ebside, right, is dangerous. So we have that. So again, there's sleep crates. There's Frankie's grab and go citizen. Right, and then around here, you see there's the syndicate right there. Street rats, they can be dangerous too. Especially when you just go into their little sleep crate without their permission.
You need to leave.
See, right now, she's like, you need to leave. And then you got this thing. And it's inaccessible. Because I think it's there for a mod later. Right? And then you can see as we run through, there's the elevator to get further down into Ebside, to the lower levels. And then you got this guy. Ooh, some money. Ooh, Aurora. Barge Chili. Okay, okay. And if we really want to, oh, it's another female. Okay. And then if we Madame Savages, another crate rat. And then, oh, there it is, hidden treasure. I forgot all about this. All right, now here's the thing: is this is an easy one, right? But it's got certain. You can see it's got ammo, it's got grenade, it's got trauma pack, med pack, okay, snake oil, fragmentation, and then copper. And then here's the thing: I have it loaded as a creation, and I also have it loaded as a Nexus mod. Right, so I have it loaded twice, and then so each location actually is going to have, so it's going to be double. And unfortunately unfortunately I can't, how do you say, restrict myself to just take one and leave the other. It's there, and you know, being a looter at heart, I have to grab the other one. This is not the best place for us to be. And we'll see if they come after us. Let's see. How many rounds? Maelstrom. What am I firing? What am I fighting with? I don't even know what I have. We got the Grundle. We got the Solstice. I think I'm fighting with. What am I? Oh, the Grendel. Which one is that? That's the Maelstrom. So this one here. Yep, 320 rounds left. Okay. So you can see they will get violent with you if you don't just leave them alone. We're not gonna. You saw it almost took a whole clip just to take one down, and I think there were like 4 there. Sorry, bro. What he's gonna do is tell us to stay safe, and then tell us about the disciples and the strikers. And one of the things, and then I have done it, is I think if I'm not mistaken, I joined the strikers, who eventually take out to help take out the disciples. And it does get you money, not the same kind of money that you can get working with Ryujin. And then I think I've wasted enough time. I should go do our interview and get that one underway. Because right now we need to make some money. Ryujin, though, the first couple of missions that you can do are local, so you can gain some money right off the bat without having to. And then you got this here, so you see we have an industrial workbench. So, and I'm sorry to take you guys through this. You can see we could make our own spacesuits if we have the resources. But I wanted to check here. There's a couple of things that if you can get them or make them right off the bat, you need. So we can't make that because we don't have any nickel. So this one here for sure. Reactive gauge. We definitely want to have one at least. But a purge valve is what you need for O2. And this purges all the CO2 that builds up in your suit. And so that is the goal. We have a reactive gauge for that, but we also need another one. But we also need zero wire, semi-metal wafer, and ionic liquids to make one. And then the other thing you're going to need or want is, now we have real fuel too, so we don't have to worry about it right now. And then that's why we don't have to worry about the other thing too, is because we're not going anywhere without oxygen. Not right now. But there is one thing that we can add to our suit, if I can remember what it's called, and it's an environmental seal. But you need a reactive gauge to make one. So we do that. That helps to help boost the integrity of your suit. There's not much else we can make. So let's get out of there. We can also use this to break down stuff if we wanted to. Like if we had extra guns or suits that we didn't want to sell, but we wanted the components, we could do that. So let's go get it. Let's go get our interview. Let's see if we can get that done before we're done. So yeah, this one isn't as so yeah, we're going to operations. So we'll go do our interview and then possibly do our first couple of missions. All right, so we got to go talk to our buddy.
Welcome to Ryujin Industries. Can I help you?
Hey, Lane.
You must be one of the candidates that Imogene Salzo is interviewing today.
Do I look like
Her
that?
office is down the hallway to my left. Take another left at the conference room, follow it around to the right and up a small flight of stairs. Then take a left and keep heading that way until you see her office. Sounds like a maze, right? So if you want me to walk you back there or have any questions, just let me know.
Well, I do have some questions.
And hopefully I have some answers.
Okay. So how the interview's going?
Between you and me, I think Imogene is about done with the whole process.
I don't blame her.
I can't believe the people we've been getting. I heard the hiring algorithm Yuko made approved all applicants. And of course Yuko bailed when interview time hit. It's technically her job. And Imogene is furious.
Furious. Okay. All right. I don't blame her. I would be too. So tell me a little bit about Imogene. What should I know?
Imogene Salzo is my idol.
Oh, dang.
She's ruthless, but still knows how to behave around everyday people, if you know what I mean. She's probably next in line to take over for Ularu Chen, head of operations here, which would be a godsend considering Chen has no filter and loves to speak her mind.
Well,
No
I'm
one loves
kind of that
real
way too.
honesty that much.
And my filter goes completely away if I'm annoyed. So what exactly does Ryujin do?
Oh wow, you're serious? Well, Ryujin is the tech industry leader in the settled systems, mostly known for neuroamps, which exploded on the scene about 15 years ago. Other than that, our products include operating systems, security, various quality of life improvements for the home. We're like a full package. If you really want more info, I'd recommend reading up at one of the kiosks. They've got this company's entire history listed. At least the history they want you to know.
Understood. All right, think I'm ready. All right, man.
Good. Best not keep Imogene waiting too long. And the offer still stands if you need someone to show you the way.
No, I got it. I understand. I can find it.
Great. Well, good luck then. I'm sure I'll see you on your way out.
All right. Hopefully with a job. All right, and we go to the left.
I'd hate to be on Miss Solzo's bad side.
Oh, well, I'm about to just talk to her. You got any info? Are you waiting for the interviews? Hey,
You're
Rafiq.
interrupting me. Is this time accounted for?
Actually, yeah.
I doubt that. I check my schedule regularly, and this conversation was not on the budget.
Really?
If time is money, then suffice to say Ms. Serrano would not be pleased with such a frivolous expenditure.
She doesn't need to know.
No, I suppose she doesn't. And since you clearly have bandwidth to spare, maybe you can help me clean up a, minor indiscretion.
Bro, I just stopped you because I thought you were waiting for an interview like I am, you know? I might be able to help you, though.
Good. Let me give you some background.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, I've been assisting the impoverished in both Ebside and the Underbelly.
Haven't we
I
all?
pay for the occasional meal, clinic visit, or comfort.
Oh,
But
I was just
I may have
eliminating
lost
other
a slate
mouths to
in
feed.
the process. I need you to locate and retrieve it for me.
Wait a minute, why trust me?
It's not a matter of trust, but one of time.
Mm-hmm.
I have little to spare. You do not.
All right, I'll help you.
Then we have an agreement. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the Underbelly and talk to the panhandler, Huang. Discarded items are her specialty, so she may have come across the slate herself. If you can manage to find it, bring it back to me, and I will pay you for the time.
Is this something we need to discuss with management?
Contractually, yes, but I'd rather avoid the embarrassment. Normally, I do a good job of setting boundaries between work and life. This incident is an exception.
All right, peace.
As you were.
Obviously, you're not waiting.
Just waiting for more info. As
April.
usual. Hey, you need something?
Well, apparently not.
Better do this right. I'm a little busy right now.
Yeah, aren't we all? I'm a little busy trying to find where I'm supposed to go. Well, I know where I'm supposed to go.
I hope you're more
Hello.
prepared than the last one.
Have a seat. Just waiting on you.
Oh, you said have a seat.
All right, just to get a few things straight here. I'm Imogen Salzo, Senior Operations Specialist here at Ryujin Industries.
Mm-hmm.
I don't normally do this, but my counterpart Yuko is indisposed at the moment, so here I am.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking for someone to fill an entry-level administrative position.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, our algorithm has failed us and believes you to be a decent match, which I'll take up with our technicians later.
I bet you will.
So, let's get this over with.
Yes,
Why
ma'am.
do you want to work for Ryujin Industries?
I was looking for a place where I can go and find a boss like yourself to harass me and make me do unspeakable things for them, with them, or, nightly. Does that mean, well, but if we really want to put something down in writing, neuramps are revolutionary. I just wanted to be a part of what's next.
It's good to see you're familiar with and appreciate our work here.
Mm-hmm. On
Why
point.
do you consider
Thanks,
yourself
Lane.
qualified for a job like this?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can make any deal happen.
Including this job? The art of the deal can go a long way here.
Mm-hmm.
If what you say is true, you'll have department heads fighting over you in no time.
No, I'm
How
yours.
motivated are you to succeed?
Well, I'm above and beyond. That's my motto.
All in, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
At least that's an attitude we can work with here.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, my last question. If you worked here for 5 years, what role would you see yourself in?
I don't know, whatever it takes to be your, oh, like at work, you're talking, I think I prefer the complexities of cybersecurity. Yes.
In that case, you'd find yourself on one of the best teams in the settled systems.
I know, that's why I'm here.
It's nice to see someone take an interest in the legal side of cybersecurity. But I hope you enjoy a challenge.
Oh.
Hackers these days keep our people busy round the clock.
Mm-hmm.
So look, since there's a million other things I'd rather be doing than this, not to mention that this isn't even my job, you're hired.
Great.
On a probationary period, of course.
Understood.
Especially
Understood.
considering this criminal record of yours. First order. There's a meeting starting soon, and I need you to pick up the coffee order at Terra Brew. Fairly easy, so you shouldn't be able to screw it up. If there's a line, skip it. Tell them you're here for Imogene Salzo, and you should get served right away.
Mm-hmm. And remember, I'm only here for one reason, and that's to do you. Work for you. Yes. Wouldn't that be awesome if somebody could figure out how to mod that in to have a relationship with Imogene? You know what I mean? Little corporate indiscretions. You can even name it that. I love her voice and accent. Mm-hmm. We're gonna get yelled at anyway, so might as well make it quick.
Welcome to the Ryujin and Neuroamps mostly. Same as always.
No, you have more than that. You have apparel. And we think, we know, how much is it? It's only 1,200. I don't want the, this has got potential. Right. You're seeing it my way. Other than that, yeah. So it's either this one. No. Or this one. I think I'm leaning towards this one. One that's cheaper. This is the cheapest one, but I'm leaning towards this one.
Have
Thank
a
you.
good one.
Thank you. Oop. All right. So real quick here. We got to make ourselves look the part. All right. Well, we got to make up some time too. Running in our heels. There it is. That's not it. There it is. Okay.
She's too good for Neil. Sounds like she's trying to help someone or something.
Howdy.
Hi. Hello.
Thanks for choosing
You hear that? Hey, there's a line here.
Hello, and welcome to Terra Brew. How may I serve you? Oh, the Ryujin order.
Yeah.
You must be new.
Yes, I am.
What happened to Tomo? Did he finally get that
I got fired is what
Oh,
happened.
Tomo. You must be Tomo.
This is the soulless suit they got to replace me.
Soulless.
I'm sorry. I know how hard you were working for that promotion.
4 years behind a desk, getting coffee, kissing up to that high and mighty Ularu Chen just to get replaced by this nobody?
Okay, wait, bro, you getting all personal, man. Wait. What happened, bro?
Like, who knows? I looked at someone wrong. The coffee wasn't hot. They didn't even have the decency to tell me. They just had security escort me out of the building, like some criminal.
Bro, I'm sorry you got fired and all, but dang, man.
Yeah, I bet you are. No one's ever sorry in this business. And now that I've been terminated, it's only a matter of time before they send you after me. So I'm taking matters into my own hands. Believe me, it's either you or me.
Wait. What do you mean, is either you or me?
You don't just get to learn all the ins and outs of Ryujin operations and then just walk away. Even worse, I got fired. They don't let that kind of knowledge run around in the head of disgruntled employees.
Well,
it's just a matter of time before they send you after me.
Don't be one.
I'm taking matters into my own hands.
Look, hold on. Time out, man. Let's talk about this.
You want to talk?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. You get one chance to prove you deserve this job. Change my mind, and I'll walk away. Fail, and I think you know where this is headed.
I got on my suit. I got plus 10 persuasion. Look, I'm highly trained. You attack me, you die.
You can't be that good. Not yet. Look.
Good enough to punk you, bro.
At some point, Ularu really will send you after me. Just promise me you'll remember this. That when I came after you, I gave you the chance to talk me down.
Of course, man. Of course.
You're either one of the few good people in Neon, or you already know a thing or two about leverage. Just don't make me regret this.
You will not regret it, bro. Alright? Just stop pulling guns on people, bro.
Hey, no worries on anyone calling security here. Take it from me, Ryujin will handle any drama that may come from this. You'll want to be sure to report it to them.
I'll still need that. Wait. What can you tell me about the guy?
Tomo had been Ryujin's errand boy for some time now. Lots of ambition. Dying to get up that food chain, if you know what I mean. He always seemed really nice, so a stunt like that? I never saw it coming.
And then how's Ryujin handling it?
Ryujin has connections everywhere. Even Benjamin Bayer.
You know, the ferryman that runs Neon?
Yeah.
They're practically untouchable around here.
Just
true
getting
that.
in with them, you're setting yourself up for life. Well, provided you don't get fired first, of course.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, I still need to pick up that order.
Yes, of course. Here it is. Oh, and please let Mr. Cho know that we did have the recommended maintenance done. I triple-checked the grind myself, and a mistake like that will never happen again.
Got it. All right, man. All right, lady. Whatever. I gotta go. We got lots of distractions going on here. Lots of distractions. Whoa. Yeah, we gotta put our football skills to the trick there. We got places to be, people to do. Well, one person in particular.
Nope, nothing. Pretty slow day so far.
Hey.
I got the memo from Imogene to add you to the system. So it sounds like congratulations are in order.
Absolutely.
You must have really nailed that interview.
Among other things, yeah. I think she was just sick of interviews, though.
Too pissed off to care? That certainly sounds like Imogene. At least in a situation like this.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, just wanted to welcome you to the dysfunctional family.
All right, we're going to be best buds, I know. All right, see you soon.
Imogene and Yuko run a tight ship around here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at me. I don't blame you.
I hope that coffee is still hot considering the time it took you to get it.
What are you talking about? I was there and back.
To learn this city or how to deal with distractions. So, what was the holdup?
You know, I'm not gonna candy coat it. I ran into an employee of yours.
Good answer.
Oh yeah?
The one I was hoping for, since we learned of the incident before your return. Your handling of the Tomo situation has caught some attention, and we'd like to try you out in a different role at the company. And since
dang.
Yuko isn't here to object, your new position starts right now. So, congratulations. You've been promoted. Not bad for your first day, right?
Right? Been here less than an hour and already got a promotion. He was here 4 years and couldn't get one. Holy cow. Thank you.
You say that now, but let's move on to the details.
As long as I get to keep working with you, I'm good.
Operative.
Mm-hmm.
The position is a bit more complicated and completely confidential.
Okay.
Your main duty is to add influence when necessary to ensure success of the business.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions so far?
Does it mean I get to keep working with you? Why is it confidential?
Like any good corporation, we consider what we do here to be a trade secret. If others knew and could mimic our actions, it would take away our edge.
Mm-hmm. And what do you mean by add influence?
In any case where a threat to success is established, one of us is sent out to create a more desired outcome. This may be through a conversation or presenting some new information. It's all very situational, as you'll soon see.
All right. Okay, I'm good.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this transition may be easier than I thought. Now, let's get that coffee delivered. I'll gladly take mine. And since Yuko's still a no-show, feel free to keep hers.
All right.
The other recipients are eagerly waiting for you in the conference room.
All right. Your command is my wish. Hello, sir.
Coffee.
Yeah.
You'd think we'd want to support our own subsidiary and get tranquility more often.
Why would you want to do that?
Terrabrew it is.
Well, I doubt your daily orders are the sole difference between profits.
Yes, the profit margins are vastly different at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
It's more the principle of the matter.
Mm-hmm.
Tea-talk aside, allow me to introduce myself.
Yeah.
I'm Lyndon Calderi, Chief Financial Officer.
Nice to meet you,
I'll be
Lyndon.
the one deducting expenses from your pay every time you manage to screw up.
Let's
which
hope.
Hopefully won't be often.
Yeah, let's hope not. Well, there goes my paycheck.
The expenses aren't as extreme as you may think. We limit them. The intent is to discourage, not dishearten.
Mm-hmm.
This introduction was not annoying. I hope our future encounters are as productive.
All right. Appreciate that, Lyndon. Oh, hey.
Just what I needed. Imogene said she hired someone new.
Oh, so you
I'm
needed me?
Genevieve, Head of Marketing and Public Relations.
Mm-hmm. Well, so you're the one that's keeping us in the public's good graces then.
Yeah, me and an entire department at my back.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's good to put a face to the new operative. The only question now is how much work are you going to be?
Only as much work as you want me to be. Oh, wait. My heart belongs to Imogene. But my body's open for other things. So, what do you mean by that?
Cleanup, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Journalists are pretty quick at putting two and two together.
Mm-hmm.
And I get the pleasure of making sure those connections are never made. Or, if they are, handling the fallout.
Don't worry about me.
Yeah, that's what they all say. Just know that one screw up for you means a lot of overtime and sleepless nights for me and my team.
Roger that.
So, any precautions you can take will be greatly appreciated.
Gotcha. Peace. You know, there are some missions that we should be able to do because we have the shuttle. We can shuttle there. just that it's going to cost us money to go do these missions. Hey, Mr. Cho.
So, fetching coffee 1 minute
Mhm.
and junior operative the next.
Yeah.
Camden Cho, supply chain manager for Ryujin. We won't work together much, but as part of the same department, hopefully I'll be seeing you around.
Yeah, it's good to meet you. Oh, wait. Hey, Risa says she triple-checked the grind herself.
Ah, so she remembered.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I expect much out of Terra Brew Coffee, but hey, I suspected their grinder was on its last leg. Anyway, welcome to the team. Oh, and just a heads up, people in your position don't typically see the brighter side of Ryujin Industries. But rest assured, this is a great company, and the work we do goes toward benefiting millions.
Thanks. I'll keep that in mind.
Please do. It's easy to get wrapped up in the bad if that's all you see. Of course, you'll be forming your own opinions as you go. Just keep an open mind. Oh, and thanks for the coffee.
You're quite welcome. And what I see is Imogene right over there. And for me, that's all good. All good. Miss Price.
Coffee, finally.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's have a look at you.
Well, I'm quite the specimen, I know.
Sounds like something my son would say.
Oh.
And no, I don't mean that as a compliment. I'm Alexis Price, head
Mm-hmm.
of the legal department here, and I'll be direct.
Mm-hmm.
Any legal troubles you cause as an operative, witnesses, getting arrested, are my troubles.
Oh, well, then we'll be hand in
So
hand.
steer clear of law enforcement. We may have connections with Administrator Bayou and the Freestar Rangers, but they aren't the ones I prefer to abuse.
What connections do we have with the Freestar Rangers?
For one, our connections with Bayou automatically grant us a slight connection with the Rangers. He has some amount of influence with his seat on the Council of Governors.
Okay,
But our
yeah, you're right
strongest
about
connection is local, with Ranger Price.
Price. Nice. Freestar Ranger on the payroll?
If we could get Freestar Rangers on payroll, we'd be running this faction. So no, that's not the case. Jalen simply knows how business is done when it comes to Neon.
Jalen.
But that doesn't mean he's a free pass. So again, steer clear of law enforcement.
I get it now. Price, Jalen, my son. All right, makes perfect sense. Okay, well, guess what? You know, I'm like a ghost. I don't get caught.
Good. Then we should get along just fine.
I don't know. You got kind of an attitude. But you're right. We'll be fine. Did I do all? Yeah, I did everything.
How goes the slate search? Any complications?
We about to go find it now. As soon as I talk to my girl.
I hope you enjoyed your little meet and greet.
Not as much as
Thought
I
you'd
enjoyed
like
my
to know the
interview.
execs who you'll be impacting while on the job.
Basic theme was don't get caught.
That doesn't surprise me.
Mhm.
Now that you've met a few of the execs, let's get you started.
Ooh, 10
There's
grand.
reason to believe that our friends at KeltCorp were
One
trying
step
to
closer.
hack into our R&D server, since we're both competing for a contract right now.
That'll more than cover a round trip ticket to wherever we need to go on our first off-world mission. Big mistake on their part.
My words exactly.
Where?
We can't allow them to win the contract, nor
Great
can we
minds.
allow the action to go unpunished. I'll be giving you a data slate with a file that you'll need to upload through one of their computers.
Roger that. How do I gain access to the computers?
That's up for you to determine. Think of it as the creative aspect of your job.
Cell court?
There's always more than one way to get a job done around here.
There's Clover. I need to go talk to Clover anyway. I can do it while I'm there. All right, consider it done.
Remember, this is confidential. We can't have anyone at KeltCorp getting suspicious.
KeltCorp. Okay.
When all is said and done, it should be as if you were never there. Here's the data slate. Good luck.
All right. Wish me luck. All right, so we'll talk to Clover real quick here. We'll go down, get his slate. We might go get his slate on the way to go talk to Clover. So first things first. All right. Oh, we were at a point. When did we? All right. So that's who we gotta get. Wong Lee. All right, so we gotta get to the elevator and go down to the lower level. Oh God. I think you picked the wrong person to have to bucko, you know. Can you shoot finally? What in the world is going on? Oh shoot. Get off me. Oh shoot. Can we try this again? Whoop, wrong button. Where's the other one coming from? Here's another one. There's two more. Smart dock. Get rid of the bleed. And get rid of the injury. Where you at? Where you at? Oh. This one decided, I'm just gonna jump. Alright. Let's go down and get the other one. Shotguns are much better at close range. Look at this one, just sitting here chilling. He's like, if I just pretend like I didn't see anything, I know nothing, I see nothing, they won't kill me. So now with those hidden treasures, it kind of makes sense to just go look around, just in case you don't know when you're going to stumble across one. And of course, sorry, but not sorry. So in truth, I think we'll get to the elevators before we come across. I got to do it. God dang it. See, you get, if you're too close, you keep getting stuck in the what's the name? Oh shoot! Oh shoot! All right. Who we gonna kill? Oh, sorry. You came at me, bro. Like, oh, I don't have any more bandages. That's not good. I should have left that one alone. The truth, I think. Ow. Pain tolerance. Okay. Uh-oh. They're not running from me. No longer tense. Badass, aren't I? Nonchalantly just carrying on like none's going on. Nothing major. Look at us. We got our high heels. We got our little belt on. I'm about to go just talk to Ms. Wong Lee over here.
If you got any spare creds,
hey,
you can always take them off your hands. Hey, Chief, you got any creds you can spare?
You know what? Here you go.
Thank you kindly. You're a class bass, you know that?
Yeah.
I'll do my best to someday pay you back. Street's honor. This isn't a donation, it's an investment.
Well, guess what? Speaking of investments, how about this? I got a guy over at Ryujin who wants to know if you found any slates lately. Maybe one that he might have left behind.
Oh, I totally did. Found it in the dumpster right next to a half-eaten chunk.
Oh.
It was perfect timing, really. You see, the other day, the wind got a nasty cough and blew away all of my business spreadsheets. That won't happen with this slate. It's like wind resistant.
It's like not yours, though. What if I find your spreadsheets for you? Will he exchange it for the slate?
That would mean I don't have to start over. All right, deal. I lost them near the employee break area. Look for any papers near the ground, the tables, maybe even the roof. You find all 3 spreadsheets, and I'll give you the slate.
All right. It also means I don't have to take it off your unalived body. If you understand what that means. There's sure a lot of people around. Is this break time? Is this lunchtime? And why are you guys just running? I'm not sure why they're running, to tell you the truth. Something obviously is going on. Mm-hmm. Now, how did the wind blow it in? Well, I guess it could. Essentially, blow it in there and then blow whatever. I'm going to consume that. And look at this. Yes, please. It's a homesteader's outerwear. Okay. Technically, I would be stealing it. We're only bleeding. So if I get down here and if I'm hidden, I am detected. Oh. Do you see how that works? Let's get over here though. Can I make anything? The answer is no. And we need something for the bleed because we got some lacerations, some stuffs. There's another one that's up here. Okay, and then there's one over there. Underneath all this stuff. Let's just see if we can. There it is. Okay. When we leave, we're going to want to go another direction.
Got any creds to spare? Wow, that's real class of you, Chief. A+ stuff. Now I can get my books sorted, executive style. As promised, your slate. Tell your techie friend I didn't peek inside. And even if I did, I don't know what half of it says anyway.
Mm-hmm. Peace out. Alright, so we're gonna have to leave through the other side. That would be the smart way to go. Meaning, you need to leave this way. Let's see. We're gonna have to move slowly because as we move. I don't think we're over encumbered, are we? We are. Okay, that explains a lot then. And I don't have a ship to transfer things to. I hate to see you go, but I love watching you leave. Okay. All right, which way do I need to go? I think out this way. Mm-hmm. We ran across her before. All right, now we stop and talk to this guy. We're going to be compelled to give him money. There's more thugs up there that way.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bad part of town, buddy. I'm gonna do you a favor. Head back to Bayou Plaza before the disciples get you.
I think I can handle myself.
Hey, it's your ass, not mine on the line. Whole area's gone to hell. Us crate rats used to think the Ebside strikers were awful, with all the muggings and shakedowns, but now that they're on the ropes, kinda wish they weren't just holed up in Madame Sauvage's. Streets are getting bad. Real bad.
Yeah. It's good to know.
Sure. So, for being so helpful, chance for a donation. Come on, might be saving my life. What with the disciples and all. Have a heart.
This is coming from my rainy ship day fund. You understand that? I need a ship. Thanks for the tip.
Hey, thanks. Look, I mean it. Go back to the plaza. Ain't nothing but shit and misery over here.
All right, peace out, bro. You get up out of here too. Try to do something, man. Get on with one of these fish cannon places or something. Do something. All right. The cool thing is, Trade Authority is right here. So we can just mosey on over here. And we'll talk to the bot instead of this a-hole. Why are you scared every time you see me? All right. So now we got a lot of stuff. So we can get rid of this guy, Furious Modified. All right. So we're not. So this drum beat is not better than the one that we already have. Neither one of those are. The Equinox, I'm not a big fan, so we're just letting it go anyway. Disruptor, how much money you? Oh, you're offering a good bit. That'll get us back the money we just gave that guy. Not a fan of the Orions either. Don't like the Coachmans. We don't need 2 shotguns. How many times can you shoot somebody? Well, you could double fist, but that's not part of this game. Okay. Spacesuits. That one's heavy. Okay. Oh, you got 3 of these? And then shock troop ones. And they are all heavy. Alright. At some point, yeah, we're going to look at this one a little closer. It's a skip pack, so I'm not a happy fan with skip packs, but we're going to hold on to that one. I don't like skip packs. See, they will buy stolen stuff from you. Homesteaders outerwear. It is kind of chill. But we're gonna hold on to it. Infiltrator suit 2 is ours anyway. This is what the strikers look like. We're holding on to that. Now the tag wear. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, we can sell these. We're at 50K. We're at 50K. I could sell these too. I don't need them. Did we get nothing for them? I might have been looking at volume per mass instead of actual, not volume, but value per mass. Nope. Some of these things, even though they're worth something, they really do come in handy. Okay. The sculpture. Okay, bruh. Thank you.
We've got you covered. Our trained and certified physicians are qualified to assess and treat any physical ailment or affliction.
Frank Rennick
Yeah, I know,
calling
I
a
can
twist
kick
because his
myself.
robot got vandalized.
Mm-hmm. Do we buy all your band? Oh, there we go. God, they're expensive. 2 for right now. Mm-hmm. Whoops, wrong button. Oh. All right, so kelp core is this way. Kelp core.
If you're here to buy, I'm afraid we only sell direct to retailers. Again, look, you can tell Mr. Okaribo that I'm doing everything I can. Blood from a stone, if you'll pardon the expression.
Excuse me. That's not exactly the greeting I was expecting, to tell you the truth.
Oh, my lord. You aren't here about Mr. Okaribo's debt to Kelkor. Oh, this is so embarrassing. Let me start over.
Mm-hmm.
My name's Clover McKenna, but you can call me Chloe. Sorry for my outburst.
Well, why would this Mr. Okadibo hire people to represent him?
I'm not sure. I think he's afraid that I won't be here, and he'll have to deal with my father. Someone who has a lot less patience than I do. Just a few weeks ago, he paid some poor fella to come up here and request a bit more time to pay back his debt. So I snapped at you like that. I thought he'd done it again.
Okay. Got it. Well, apologies not necessary.
That's kind of you.
Oh.
This mess with Mr. Okadibo over at the Neon Mining League has really thrown me off my game.
Must be a heck of a mess.
If only you knew. Mr. Okadibo owes a substantial debt to Keltkor. I've given him more than enough time to try and come up with the money, but my father's patience is running out. Frankly, I don't know how much longer I can stall.
Well, maybe I can help.
You'd be willing to help out? That's awfully kind of you.
Well, it's kind of you to stick up for him in the first place, so it's the least I can do.
Just because I work for a megacorp doesn't mean I don't have a heart.
Not implying.
Mr. Okadibo.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, especially in this city.
Really?
He really needs help, but he's too proud to accept any money from me. Maybe he'd listen to someone like you?
I'll talk to him.
Oh, that'd be splendid. Just amazing. If you can get his debt off my conscience, I'd be grateful. It's been on my mind so much I've been keeping a diary.
Really?
And don't worry about payment. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. McKenna always keeps that promise.
Yeah, maybe someday you'll look up and smile. Okay.
Tough city. You watch yourself out there.
I will. All right, but hey, I got to go back here real quick now that I've talked to you. It made it seem like I actually belonged.
Sorry, I'm busy.
I don't know, but I gotta get out of here. It's been non-stop interruptions.
Mhm.
What are you looking at?
Nothing. I'm coming over here to talk to my pal.
have a deadline, Timothy.
See, it seems like Miss Chloe McKenna, I have to admit, this business with Saburo is keeping me up at night. I can see it starting to wear on me, personally and professionally. Saburo's a good and honorable man. Pride won't allow him to accept my money, but what he doesn't understand is the game is rigged. Even in good times, variable interest rates are designed to landslide you. All I want is to give him a fair shake. He may not believe in every idea he has, but I believe in him. He just needs a financial partner who can offer some direction, someone who has his best interests at heart. I won't lie, given my position, it may be a conflict, but my feelings for him aside, I really do want to help. Interesting.
You know what? Screw it. I'm going to Terra Brew right
Yeah, go to Terra Brew.
Yeah? I'll go with you. We can pick up an extra for Chloe if she asks.
Excuse me. Hello. Employee. Is that your name? Employee? Security? I mean, Neon. Hey guys, you guys going to Terra Brew? I might go with you. On second thought, I'm not gonna hold the elevator. Sorry. Not sorry. I just like to run. This actually reminds me of boot camp. So I was the, for my company, if you want to call it, I was the yeoman in boot. But I was the marching yeoman, so not the actual working yeoman. So my job was to march, and, and hold the purse. But all the actual clerical work was done by the other yeoman, the second, basically. I was there to look, I don't want to say look good, but I was there to march and be presentable, and, but during Hell Week, where everybody gets their assignments and, their work assignments and got to go do stuff. My assignment was I had to attend certain meetings and do stuff like that. And then so I did a whole lot of marching all over the place by myself. Now, while you're in boot, if you're in groups less than 3, you have to double time it because you're not a marching party. You're not in formation. So I had to double time it everywhere. And it was actually the most fun I had my entire Navy career. It was just that week. All right, here we go.
As technicians, we handle. Make it quick.
I got your slate.
Well done. It seems assigning you to this task was time well spent.
It sure was.
And as I said when we met, time is money. Hopefully these credits will serve as adequate compensation.
Depends on how many.
Excuse me, I have an operative to debrief.
All right. And now that was way more than I was expecting. And so, yes.
My next assignment can't start soon enough.
Well, look who survived their first assignment.
Well, actually,
How'd it go?
technically, this is my second assignment. Went well. No incidents.
Not a single setback. Huh. I knew you were going to be perfect for this job.
I'm perfect for
If you
you.
recall, setbacks mean a lot of things for a lot of people. Payoffs, cover stories, cleanup crews. You get my drift. The cleaner your work, the more intact your payments stay. I'm sure you understand.
I want to hit her with this because, I'm wanted, right? So I don't exactly have a reputation for clean work, but I'm kind of wanted because of the people I double crossed in leaving, right? So I don't know that it applies here, all right? I get it. Clean work equals maximum payout.
Exactly. In the meantime, I'll make sure that slate is properly disposed of. So, now that we know you're capable of handling some light cyber mischief, let's try your hand at a little framing.
Okay. Ready for whatever.
One of our subsidiaries, Arboron, is currently competing for a
6K.
contract against Laredo.
With a
The buyer
$500
likes to keep their
500 credit
associations
bonus.
clean, and will be sending a representative to Laredo in Aquila City for an evaluation. We just need you to visit their office first and accidentally leave behind some incriminating evidence against their company.
Okay. Where should I leave this evidence?
The inspection will be similar to an audit. These things are usually pretty thorough. Filing cabinets, desks. I trust you can be smart about it.
Yes, and I'll just go where the marker tells me. Are there any do's and don'ts?
We want a clean and careful job. Obviously, we don't want any bad press at this point, or we could lose the deal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear any news about bounties or bodies coming out of Aquila City.
I'll make sure.
Good. This one should be easy to pull off. Laredo has their own building, unlike CeltCorp, so at least there's only a single layer of security to deal with. Here's the slate we need you to plant. It holds confidential files that'll cast the perfect negative light on our friends at Laredo. Now, get going.
Ooh, I like it when you get forceful. Okay, I think that's where we'll leave it. Okay, so we got our girl right here. We'll double check some things real quick here while we can. So we got 3 skill points to allocate. We're looking at, we got 66,000 credits. So we made some money really quick here. You see this where you don't see a body there, right? You can see it's there, but what's happening is, and then we can just come in here, and if I take this jacket off, right? Then we come down here, and then we go back to apparel. You can see it's no longer seeing through. So it's the jacket isn't going with the what's name. Granted, it works fine here. It's just in the menu it was clipping, or causing issues.
A gala at the New Atlantis Free Star Embassy. That'd be a good way to gather intel.
Yeah, it would. So we got 66K. There are a couple of ships that we could buy right now. Right? I think the Mako is one of them, and I think the Mako would be one of them. If we went to the ship services technician, I'm sure we could look at, there's what's the name is right here too. Stroud Eklund is here. There might be ships in their inventory. I can't say for sure. And then we also have oh my gosh, the what's name guy. I don't know if they have any ships on hand, but so there's at least 2 locations we can buy ships from. We already looked last time, or last episode, and saw with the ship services tech that there were 2 ships for just under 60K. And then there were a few ships that were between 80 and 90K. And we had determined that there was a ship, I think it was around 87K. That would have been like a perfect ship for us to go ahead. So technically we are about 20K shy of what we want for that ship. And then so this next mission will take us off world. Now I have a mod that is the I forget what it's called, something shuttle services, that puts a shuttle basically kind of like a Greyhound at every major ship port. So we can go out there. As a matter of fact, let's, instead of just talking about it, I can talk while we're getting there, and then that's where we'll leave off. So we can, for the pricey price, or so one of the things is the default price is 500, just 500 credits to fly anywhere. I'm like, well, that's just too cheap, too inexpensive. So I adjusted it to 1500. The max is 3000. 3000 credits to fly anywhere. I kind of wish that it was variable, you know, depending on where you want to go. Instead of a flat fee anywhere across the settled systems, you basically okay. So instead of just a flat fee that you can fly anywhere, I wish, depending on range and distance, you know, just like Greyhound and airplane tickets. But the settled systems shuttle service. So what we can do here is we can go in and we can book a flight to Aquila for 1500, go to Aquila, do what we got to do, and then get another flight for 1500 back. So that means we're basically shelling out 3000 to get whatever this mission is going to pay. So if this mission doesn't pay us 3000 credits, then it's not worth it. But if it pays us, say, 6,000, like the last one, or even 10,000, then it becomes a little bit more, you know what I mean? We're paying out 3, but we're getting 10, so we're gonna net 7, or, you know, we're getting back 6, so we're gonna net 3. So we're still making money in the process, even though we have to expend money to make money. So, what it does is it keeps us from being stranded and just having to stay local. The thing is, if we get a quest, like there's one to go to Sidonia, we can do that if we don't make enough money to get our own ship first. But then there's one to go to this one far off place, you know, to investigate this moon, and obviously you can't get there without a ship. So you can continue going and continue playing until, all right, so we keep this scenario going until we either have enough money to get our own ship, or until we just don't, and then we got to start looking for other local missions, right, that don't require us to go someplace that we can't shuttle to or that aren't already local, you know, to make more money. Doesn't mean that the Ryujin quest line is done. It would just mean that we would have to pause it and do other things on Neon while we still could. And then here's the other thing. You can shuttle over to Aquila and do stuff on Aquila for a while. You can shuttle over to Sidonia, do things on Sidonia for a while. You can shuttle over to New Atlantis and do things on New Atlantis for a while. All the while, you can continue making money as long as you can shuttle wherever you need to go. So you can basically do any, but if we want to do UC Vanguard, well, we can sign up for it. We can pass the flight simulator test. But then the very first mission is to go to Tau Ceti. You can't do that. You can't take the shuttle services over to Tau Ceti because that's not a major port. So that's as far as you can go there. Whatever we would need to do to join the Crimson Fleet, you could not do, right, without a ship. The Ranger stuff. The very first thing they tell you to do is either go rescue a hostage or take out the spacer or whatever at a certain location And those locations aren't going to be at some major port city, so you can't do those either. So the faction quest lines, you actually just would never be able to get done. You could start them, especially the Free Star Rangers quest line, right? Because as a matter of fact, we're about to head to Tequila right now. You can do that one. You can get that one started. You can get the UC one started if you just went to Jameson. That as far as you can go. Right now, the main quest line with the Constellation and the artifacts and everything, that won't kick off until we won't. The probability of that even happening won't kick off until we reach level 25, because that's what is delayed. How long we delayed it, and there's only a 50% probability that we will stumble across the artifact needed to get everything started. I'm very curious how they handle that. Rios, I call it Rios, but it's roll your own start. The thing that I like the most about that one is that it gives you a data slate that you can eventually read at your own leisure, but you read it, and then boom, it tells you a headline that Argos extractors are looking for people, are looking for help. People to work the mines. Once you read that, now you have a point in your thing that at some point you can, at any time you decide you want to, fly over to, it's not Vectera, or is it Vectera? Fly on over there, get down, and go to work, and basically start the vanilla story. And that's going to require you go, you find the artifact, you dig it up, and then you fly. Then you have to go to Crete, and then take out the spacers, and then go to Constellation from there. So it basically starts the game proper, is what I call it, right? With the vanilla storyline. So you have that. I love the way that's handled, right? That is awesome. So I'm very curious how this one is going to go, right? Because technically, from how I'm understanding it, the artifact, if I'm on a moon somewhere, and apparently I think you still have to be kind of on a moon, and you kind of have to go digging around, and then at some point it's just going to randomly select or decide, hey, yeah, that first artifact is going to be here, and then you have to discover it, and then you're going to be prompted or whatever to go and take it where you need to. So I am so very curious as to how that's going to be. But again, I think we're level 19. So there's 6 more levels we got to go first, and then we'll see what happens, right? What it's going to do for us. But right now we still, right, like I said, the most important thing is we need a ship, right? And we are kind of being selective. We can buy one right now, but we're going to be selective and get one that right off the bat is going to work for us for now, and we want to make sure we have cash, right? We want to have the cash for that, so we need at least 90k. And if we have to upgrade it or all, you're going to need more money for that as well. So just 90. Oops, sorry, hit the microphone. So just having that doesn't mean you're going to have enough. Just means we can buy a ship, but if we're not going to be able to do any upgrades. So you probably want to have a little bit more cash in hand than that. So I think what we'll do is we'll set ourselves a goal of 120k. Once we got 120k, we will go and try to decide on what ship we want, and hopefully have a little bit money left over to do some quick upgrades right off the bat. So guys, if you're loving this like I'm loving it, right? I get I get to play in Starfield and everything just triggers and goes and just like all the stuff, man, just starts to just. Don't get me wrong. I love Fallout. I love Skyrim. You know, I can play. I've played them for years, right? But there's just something I get when I play Starfield that I wish everyone could get and could feel, and just, you know what I mean? It's like, so when I play and I talk about what we're doing and what I'm thinking, I hope that comes across, and at least it allows you to see, don't believe all the hype, don't believe all the negativity. Starfield is not as good as some people hype it up to be, and is not as bad as other people try to make you believe it is. And for me, the thing is, my imagination and my sense of wonder and my sense of just storytelling doesn't allow this game to be bad, because it's not. Now, is it the best game ever made? That's for me it is, but for other people, it's all about what you like and what you enjoy most. This isn't going to have the best narrative driven stuff. It's good. It has some good stuff here, but it's not the best, right? If you think about the best narrative game out there, right? This one isn't going to go there, but it doesn't need to. It's the best gunfighting, melee combat, the best combat game that you can think of, you know, with just, and I bet you if you pull together 1,000 people, you won't get 1,000 different games, but you will get buckets for different games of those people. Why? Because people have certain things that they just truly enjoy about combat, about gameplay, about storytelling. You know what I mean? Some of the best, my favorite authors are definitely not the same as other people's favorite authors, you know. And you know, the authors I enjoyed the most, that I've read the most, you know, Stephen King, Terry Goodkind, R.A. Salvatore, right? Those are the authors that really, you know, just pulled me into their stories. Who's the best storyteller out of all of them? It's hard to say, right? But who at the time when I'm reading came up with the best stories that I wanted to read and go through and spend time in, those were the ones for me, right? Games, right? This, like I said, Starfield is my all-time favorite, you know, but I also play Madden, right? And Madden through the years has gotten worse and worse and worse, but better at some things, but worse overall. And then sometimes sometimes you can get yourself locked into a narrative in your head, and it makes it so that you can play it for hours on end, you know, based on that narrative. And this is the way this game is for me too, you know. But when I look at it, and then I'm sitting here, I'm looking at my character, I'm thinking about all the things that I want to do, all the things that I got going on. I can sit here for hours playing and playing and playing. And then so when people talk about how it's boring or how it's bland or anything like that, I'm like, well, where's your imagination? Where's your sense of storytelling? Where, you know, it isn't completely 100% up to the game to engage your imagination and to engage your sense of wonder and engage your sense of storytelling, right? Part of that is on you too. When you sit down to play a game, right? If it can spark something in you that you can just immerse yourself into and allow yourself in spite of the flaws, in spite of the issues, to go ahead and attach yourself to a character and create your own storyline, create your own narrative, and follow through. I mean, there's quests that you got to complete, but that's all they are. They're just quest missions that you have to complete throughout the whole thing. The narrative and the story, that's yours. What is your character doing? What is your reason for doing this? Why? And then that should be something you are creating for yourself, and you should never let someone dictate it to you. So for me, being a stubborn, opinionated, obstinate type of person, Starfield has provided me all the tools and all the necessary things for me to enjoy myself. So that is why I sit here on my soapbox telling you why this is my favorite game to play. Even though you've seen a lot of the other playthroughs and stuff like that I'm doing with Skyrim and Fallout, I love Dragon Break. I think that's my favorite mod list for Skyrim. It still is not, for me, the same as Starfield. Old New England, I believe I will have to say, that one is my favorite mod list for Fallout. And then Wasteland Genesis is growing on me, as crazy as that one is, right? And they are cool, but in all honesty, they don't hold a candle to Starfield for me. And then when I put in the right mods, right? And then you don't need a mod list, you just need the right mods. So when I get the clothing mods that I like right here, like you see this, when I have Bedlam, Darkstar, when I have Tiny Reasons to Explore, and then other little things, right? The Alternate Start mod, this one here, Roleplayers, Alternate Start. Then all of a sudden, the game changes for me, and it's not the out of the box version of Starfield anymore. Settled systems shuttle service. Because now, look at me. I'm a pedestrian, but I'm about to go to Aquila from Neon. You know what I'm saying? And then someone did comment to me that with Rios, roll your own start, I believe it's that one, when you're doing the pedestrian start, you can still just go to the ship services technician and then start modifying your ship, and then you can go out and get on your ship and take off, even though you haven't paid the lien on it yet. I wouldn't know that, because when I'm playing, why would I do that if I believe I need to pay the lien off before I can have my ship? Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, well, I'm not looking for ways to get around the system or shyster the system. You know what I mean? It's like, if you tell me there's a lien on it, then I'm not going to even mess with my ship. I did figure out that I could still store stuff on it, so I'm fine with that, right? Because I have the, where I can access my cargo from anywhere. I'm completely fine with doing that. But it's like, I'm not going to try to steal my ship, without paying off the, what's the name? It's like, that's a flaw in the mechanic, but it's also, well, that's kind of like, well, why would you do that? Why would you go take off on your own, on the ship, when you knew there was a lien out there? You know what I mean? And I mean, granted, there should have been something where then if you took off in your ship, you would have been stealing it essentially. And, there should have been and I'm sure the mod author could go back and say, oh, I better put like some sort of trigger there that says, hey, if they take off before this is, if the ship takes off before that, it puts a bounty out on that person. Now you've stolen your own ship, and that bounty should be double or triple the amount of the lien. And it should make you wanted in all the factions, right? So UC and Freestar. So if you show up anywhere, you're going to be attacked immediately. That would be the way I would fix it, right? But again, you know, again, why would you just automatically say, I'm gonna go take off on my ship? I know I owe money, but I'm gonna go try to steal it, which is essentially what you did. And there's probably a scenario that the mod author never thought anybody would do, or maybe they just didn't think of a creative way to try to prevent that. So there we are with that. So again, guys, again, like, it's hard for me to leave this game once I start playing it, because like I said, I love it so much. And you know, I didn't spend much time putting her together, but I already love her too. You know what I mean? And it's like, man, I got so many characters out there that you think, you know, well, you keep creating new ones, so how much? It's like once you get playing them, then all of a sudden it all falls back in line, and you're like, man, I just want to keep advancing with this one. Know what I mean? They're all special to me. Okay. Well, guys, I really do have to go, though. I've run out of time. But remember, guys, like, comment, subscribe. And we'll see you next time. All right. Peace.